Now we got this axle back in there, and next thing we got to do is tighten the brakes. And in order to do that, it'd be a good idea to have the other wheel off the ground so that this will turn. The other wheel's on the ground right now, so this doesn't turn, because you want to feel how much drag you got. But before I even mess with tightening the brakes, I'm going to go ahead and put the wheels on. Just using a crowbar. I guess I got the camera set too close. This isn't good. Got my valve stem right here up against this. I gotta turn this, get it away from there. That looks better. And once this inner part of the lip of this wheel is up against these stops all the way around, then we're ready to put the spacer on it and then put the other tire on. Of course, everybody that does tires knows you gotta can't put your valve stems in the same place. You got to make sure you have access to both valve stems. So this valve stem's right here. The other one's got to be in a different place. One of these other holes, doesn't matter which one. Tightening these brakes back here in the same little place. Don't have much room to work with this. Barely got a tripod in here. Don't have much room to work with it. I'm trying. Anyway, that little hole right there is where we're tightening the brakes at. And I'm in a hurry. I'm not going to do it the way I said I wanted to, by lifting up the other wheel off the ground so that it's free to turn. I'm just going to do it by feel, by this little bit of movement I can get right here. And that's because I am in a hurry. My job, they're tired of waiting for the local work to pick up again, and so they're sending me out over the road. And I picked up a load this morning and it's sitting across the street on my other lot, and I got to take off with it here in a little bit, and I'm not ready to go. I want to get this truck down and out of my driveway. You just tighten it up, just the reverse of loosening it. So at least we didn't have to change any wheel cylinders here. Got a bunch of fluid wet all over this because I left those lines slightly loose. I just bled them out a few minutes ago and tightened them up. I think I'm feeling some drag there now. I'm going to leave it right there. And if it needs more tightening, I'll do it later. Now we're on the outside of the wheel, and I'm going to center or true up, whatever you want to call it. I get all these clamps are loose. The wheel's going to wobble. It's not going to turn straight. The parking brake is on. I'm going to release that so that I can just turn this wheel alone freely. So I'm going to put the camera up on the tripod. We're going to look at it from the side like this so that you can watch the wobble in and out as we clean that up and get it where it's straight and no wobble in it. And we're going to do that by tightening these up little at a time. Whichever side is wobbling out here the most, we're just going to watch it alongside this hammer handle, and we'll just use that to gauge it. So we may have to loosen one of these up and then tighten the other side, and then just go back and forth until we get this thing centered. I'm just going to do these finger tight. Well, I'll snug it down a little bit with this. Don't want to snug them down too tight because I want to leave them loose enough to adjust. And one thing you can watch for is how much stud is sticking out, because most of the time, not always, but most of the time, these studs are seated inside this hub about the same amount. And so we see we got a lot more stud, maybe 3/4 of an inch or more sticking out right here. This side's only got maybe a little more than 1/4 inch. So that's a little bit of a clue that this one should probably be tightened down a lot more, and this one may have to loosen up. Hammer in there a little bit closer. Really not too bad. Not going to need too much adjusting. This side's going to be the closest, so we'll move it in a little bit closer. Probably in the way of the camera, sorry about that. I have the most space over here, so I'm going to tighten down the opposite side over here. A little bit close over there. Pretty good. That's pretty close. I'm okay with that. I think we're done. Thanks for watching.